All right, the purpose of this training video is to introduce students to the Schoology Conferences app. So on your regular course page, you're going to see once you log in that you have your regular screen. But now you will notice that there is a new app that has been added to the left side navigation bar, and it is called Conferences. So what we're going to do is we're going to click directly on that. This is where we're going to do any video conferencing within Schoology. So once you click on that, you're going to see a conference list come up. There are active conferences, which means they're currently in progress or they are scheduled to be in progress. And then the other tab you can choose is completed. And if a teacher is going to be recording the session, that would be where you would click on the link in order to watch it at a later time. But we're just going to show you around the conferences app. So in order to access this conference, you'll see I have one here called Yay Biology. It says it's in progress, which means the teacher has opened it and it is available. So when you click on that, it is going to take you through into this sort of chat room, okay? And so just looking from left to right, you'll see that we have a few options of things we can interact with on the left. We have a window that opens based on those options, and then on the right is where you're going to have your main conferencing area. So let's just start at the left and let's go down this list of options. So one of the things you can have is a public chat. I can pull it out like this, just click on it and it pops up. And you can see here that I can say, hello. Oops, did I type hello? I think I did. Okay. Um, and so it's going to show up there. And so it's a public chat. All students can share in the use of that. This is a good place to put questions if you're in the middle of a video conference and you don't want to interrupt your teacher when they're talking. Another neat feature is something called shared notes. So as a group, whatever size you are, when the teacher is talking, you can take some notes, and then at the end of the video session, the teacher has the option to export and save those notes as something. Again, the shared notes are public, meaning all users are able to type in them and all users can have access to them. Uh, Breakout rooms here, just real quick to discuss. So what can happen is the teacher can say, we're going to assign different groups of students to go into different rooms in order to have smaller discussions that are separate from one another. If that's the case, the teacher would have to invite you, and then once you're invited, you will see this tab on the side of your panel here. And then if you can see right here, in order to join the room, you would click on that link right there. Okay. Let's see. So that would be breakout rooms. And then users down here, let's pull the public chat back up there just because this is probably what it's going to look like. When you look at the users here, you'll see Miss Ruggiero, and we're going to consider her as the teacher. We can tell she's the teacher because if you look at the icon next to her name, she has the little blue presentation screen icon attached to it. And so that means that she is the one that is currently uh, acting as teacher. If I click on her name, I'm allowed to start a private chat with her. And so what that means is that only myself and the teacher can see this chat. So if it's something you don't want to share with other students, that's what you can use. What happens if you click on yourself? So this is me. One of the best things you can do here is set a status, and I think this is going to be a really great formative tool. Uh, you can mark yourself down based on how you're feeling. For example, if you're confused or sad or happy, if you applaud something, uh, thumbs up, thumbs down. These are great things that teachers can use to get a quick pulse of how things are going during the video conference. And they may ask you to set your status. So here are some options. Also, raising your hand. So for example, let me just show you what that looks like. If If you're going to raise your hand, you'll see now that when you look at my user status right here, it shows a little hand sign, and that's signaling to the teacher that you have a question. Okay, so that's pretty neat to look at those status options. You can also clear your status to get rid of it as well. So all of those can happen by clicking on your username. So I'm gonna X out this private chat and I'm gonna make the screen larger here. Most important things down at the bottom, I would say, right here, this is where you can mute yourself very simply. All you do is you click on it. It says I'm muted. Unclick it. There you go. Okay. And the same thing goes over here. This is for video. Now, some teachers might have it set up automatically that your video and your audio are muted upon entering. Some may not. It is always just a good idea as soon as you enter to mute and cut off your video first. And then if the teacher asks you, you can turn on either one of those. Okay. And then what you're going to see here is this blank white area. This is a whiteboard option. So depending on what the teacher is doing in the video conference, they're going to be able to use this. And you'll see on the side of the screen over here, okay, this is what's called the annotation toolbar. And let me just select something. If the teacher has enabled this, then it means that I'm going to be able to um, draw something on here. Hello. Okay. But it also means that any student will be able to. So this is a collaborative whiteboard. So all of the users will be able to use this. So a teacher may or may not use this whiteboard app. In addition to that, a teacher may or may not have something uploaded. Maybe they have a file uploaded here, or maybe they're running uh, a screen share, which basically means they would share what is going on their screen, much like I'm doing in this video. It could pop up here. They could share a video and ask the class to watch a video together, different things like that. So it all depends on how your teacher chooses to use it. Okay, so that is our basic intro to the conferences app. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher. Thanks. More additional item, your teacher may ask you to RSVP for these conferences. So let's see what that's going to look like. So I'm going to go in as a student. Here, let's just pick Rachel. Hi, Rachel. We're going to preview the course as a student so it looks just like yours. Okay. Uh, over conferences here, that's where your list of conferences will be. But in the calendar section, you should now see an event for our live session. And if you click on it, you will see that you have the ability to say you are attending or that you are declining. And this might just be something a teacher offers to help gauge how many students are going to show up. My live sessions are optional, and if no one is interested that day, you know, then I don't need to be there for it. Same thing with office hours. It helps me understand if I'm going to have 10 students coming or 2 students coming, and then that's going to help me plan accordingly. Okay, so all I did, if we go back to the course, all I did was um, go over to the calendar. I clicked on the link for the calendar, and then I have the option to attend or decline. So Rachel, I'm just playing around here, okay? So I'm just going to say that I'm attending, and then it'll show my name there. And the teacher will be able to see that I intend to attend this live session. It's not a requirement. These online conference apps are not required in any way. And in addition to that, if you RSVP'd that you were attending and then suddenly something came up, It's not like a teacher is going to come after you and say, hey, where were you? Okay. It's just to help us use our time more effectively. All right. So that's the end. If you have any questions,